Year anniversary. Well, what now? President Bush, my darling, what are we going to do now? If you withdraw, we lose. If you keep things the way they are, you lose. If you hand over power to the Iraqis, everybody loses, especially the Iraqis you hand over power to. They're not going to last too long. Maybe they got the life expectancy of a Jason Williams party guest. But we've really got a decision to make. Let's face it. Are we a world power? Or are we fence straddlers who don't even have the fortitude to beat a bunch of half-ass Baathist who are hiding in mosques? Come on, Bush, do it. You know what I'm talking about, Texas. You know what I'm talking about, so order it. Use the same finger you used to wipe away the evidence back in the 70s. One for Fallujah, one for Damascus, one for Islamabad, one for Tehran, one for Pyongyang. Come on, boy, you're from Texas. Come on, boy, put on some Marshall Tucker. Get yourself a little of the old confidence rebuilder. And before I end, let me say one thing, which is this. Before we start the show, to my cousin Dylan, the great handicapper, how could a favorite lose? I've heard of a horse throwing a shoe during a race. How could they throw two shoes, you idiot? I lost a mint. Let's talk about those soldiers who got arrested after the photos surfaced of the Iraqi prisoners being abused, humiliated. Here's what President Bush said about it.
Their treatment does not reflect the nature of the American people. That's not the way we do things in America. And so I didn't like it one bit. But I also want to remind people that those few people who did that do not reflect the nature of the men and women we sent overseas.
Okay, before we start, what are the odds that Apollo just said, see, there's a woman there. I knew it. That's what they like to do to girls. Well, what do you guys think about this? It's not torture like the Iraqi torture videos. Let's keep it in perspective.
Yeah, but they're going to use it against us like they are torture videos. And it's going to support all their propaganda, Al-Qaeda's propaganda, everything. So, oh, see, they're exactly the way we portrayed them.
It's shocking. I'm like every other American. I saw those photos, and I just, I had to masturbate and yell, lucky boy.
I'm not convinced yet that they're even authentic pictures, because those asses weren't really hairy enough to be Iraqi.
Yeah, that's true.
Could be Photoshop, That's where I
But I mean, they're funny photos. I find them amusing. These are poor guys. These weren't even like regular Army. They were reservists. Like 2 months ago, they're in Webster, Texas at the batting cages, and then now they're in Iraq trying to have fun. And this is, I've taken worse photos of people I really like who passed out after a party. You put a zucchini by their mouth, you get some Vaseline in there. It's all implied, but it's wonderful.
That's true. It's not torture, but
No, it's not. Right. There is an American arrogance to it, because this is a prison where Saddam Hussein tortured and killed thousands of Iraqis. And here we are desecrating the sacred place by taking funny photos.
He's got a good point. And when we went to Guantanamo Bay, GT as I call it, all the guards there told me the prisoners throw like feces, which I hate to say, but you can't curse on TV, and like urine at them all day, and they weren't allowed to do anything. So there's two sides to it. You never read that story, doesn't come out, even though it was obviously no big secret if they told me.
And the gay pyramid, it's pretty funny. I've never seen the gay pyramid.
I mean, you have to be careful with that kind of stuff, because more must have gone on, though. There's one guy that's always a little half, and then when they're doing the gay pyramid, he starts shoving something. I mean, you do have to not, that's not acceptable, but I think that
depending on the consistency, it's hard to be accurate with feces, too.
Right.
But that's the other thing.
Depends on what they ate the night before.
Well, let's start with the other side.
But your writers threw feces at me before I came out here.
Well,
but also,
that was a sketch they wrote.
In the gay pyramid, they covered those guys' heads, so they saved them the dignity of not having to make eye contact with whoever's balls were on his back. You don't, oh, Jesus, dude, come on.
Right. So, it really is depressing that they consider this torture, and I've paid prostitutes to do that to me.
How did they get the photos? Did these guys go down and get them developed in town?
No, dummy went. One of them sent it to his friend at home, and the friend's like, "No, stupid. These are going to somebody."
Is that true?
Yeah, he sent it to one of his friends back home, like, "Hey, isn't this funny?" And the guy's like, "Not really."
Yeah, and I read something that for the Iraqi people, that's like the most demeaning thing you can do to a male too. You know, so it was like another level.
What's
it's fun for us, but
demeaning compared to what? When Saddam would cut their balls off and rape their wives in front of them. I mean, that's another level to me. But listen to this.
Would he do that?
A group of women calling themselves, their companies called Take One for the Country, have been gathering at bars near military bases to have sex with soldiers before they go off to Iraq. Okay? Here it is, red, white, and blue. Now, what do you guys think about this?
I think, you know, when I think of these women, I think of, you know, great women of our Gloria Steinem, Rosa Parks, Susan B. Anthony, all these people that worked really hard so that women can stand there and, you know,
but not only
with these soldiers.
But you have to say the intent is their heart's in the right place.
It's wonderful.
Among other things.
yes.
No, their vagina's in the right place. That's.
Hey, look, we're going to have to disagree. Not only do I think they should be having sex with guys who are going to Iraq, but I also think they should give handjobs to comedians who have been there.
No, I think it's a positive thing. It's going to help those guys over there.
They said they're going to have sex
How is it going to help them over there?
They're going to be encouraged. They're going to feel good. Someone appreciates what I'm doing. It boosts the economy here. Guys, lonely, desperate, going to barbershops, getting flat tops, hoping to cash in on the food sweepstakes, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to my flight suit tonight. What the hell?
I know.
You need a little piece like Bush had.
I beg your pardon? Did he have a piece?
He had a little piece in there because.
Couldn't you say, why did you have a piece like Bush? You say, you need a little piece?
Well, if you're trying. All right,
Now,
Colin.
look, I'm trying
Now it's my turn, isn't it?
It's my turn.
The only problem I have with this whole thing
Yes,
is
sir.
now that a bunch of guys who never get laid are going to try to join the military, I don't think we need an army full of fat, pimply guys who like Dungeons and Dragons.
I disagree.
We'll be right back. As part of Comedy Central's Indecision coverage each month, Tough Crowd and Singular Wireless will ask you a tough question. Here we go. Which of these songs has not been used at a rally for John Kerry? A, Hello by Lionel Richie, B, I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty, or C, Hey Ya by Outkast? Singular Wireless customers text message your answer with A, B, or C to number 8833. That's 8833. Everyone else, just go to ComedyCentral.com. Tune in to Tough Crowd tomorrow for the answer. Well, a former writer's assistant on Friends is suing the show. She claims sexual harassment by how the writers talked. She said they said things like, Courtney Cox's vagina is full of twigs, dried up twigs. They regularly discuss making Joey a serial rapist. And they discuss like what he would do to rape all the different women on the show. Now, what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's, Judy, go ahead.
Well, you know, you work on a show, you work, 14 hours a day?
Right.
You make some tasteless jokes, get over it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I worked at Rosie. The things I said over there, I could have a million lawsuits.
It's true.
It's unbelievable.
You can't do anything, and it's
the beginning and the end.
You know, but it's a woman, which 98%, and the other two are like guys who are either gay or Canadian, right?
What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean? She's a woman.
She's a woman, so then it's always, oh, I can't take this sexual talk. I can't take
That's
this.
not true.
It is true.
It is
He's
true.
right.
That's
It
true.
is
98% of the sexual harassment lawsuits are from
Because
women.
you guys are
Because we make jokes about dried twigs and a vagina. Yes,
I
it's
make
true.
jokes about dried twigs and a vagina.
So you mean to tell me it's not always
I
mostly
don't
women?
have a dried twig
Vagina you
I
have?
have a
That would make
I
a
like
good.
that.
That would make a good Halloween
But
costume.
getting past, no, the point is this. The point is,
What do you expect? That is the way it is. She said they were making obscene, racist, and sexist jokes, which is another way of saying that they're funny guys. They're clowning around. Really, that's what it is. And she can't cut the mustard.
Why do you have to blame it on the fact that she's a woman?
Because that's the
Because that's
majority of the
always
time.
good.
This doesn't apply to you or women.
I'm not
that are good
saying all
comics,
women.
but that's the type of mentality you got to deal with. And you wonder why guys don't want you in the country clubs because they're goofy. I'm not saying that guys should be able to touch you and sexually harass you, but a bunch of guys just making jokes.
I don't agree
she's
with
suing
her.
Well,
I
that's
don't
why.
agree with her.
Well, you got all bent out of shape when I said it was almost always a woman, which it is.
Because
That's a
it's
fact.
not. Look at your attorney general taking that thing off of the statue because the boobs are on the statue.
But he didn't sue the statue for sexual harassment.
That's right.
He didn't go, oh my God, that statue pressed his palm up against me.
Instead he had a little prayer meeting.
Hey,
No, I'm not saying that. That guy's an idiot too, but the majority, it's a woman. And it's displaced anger is what it all boils down to.
Yep.
She's there working probably 17 hours a day, making $600 a week, and you look across the aisle and there's Matt LeBlanc bringing home 1.7 a week. You got to be steamed, and so suddenly, he made dirty jokes. I'm sad.
Not to mention that twigs in the vagina is a very serious medical condition.
Yeah.
That really shouldn't be.
Now
What
I
about that in the Audubon
Yeah.
Society?
Ted actually had twigs in his vagina.
How do you think I feel? How do you think I feel knowing that they were discussing taking Joey and then stealing my life?
No, but it's just silly. I just think that
But don't you feel like,
you need the freedom, and I mean, it's not necessary. You could probably sit in a writer's room that is very polite and not a foul
No,
word
you
is never
couldn't, 'cause then
spoken.
nothing funny
No,
would
you
come
could,
out.
yeah. It'd be a life according to Jim is where you would be working. But if you want to work on a good show where you have to be free to express your ideas with impunity, and then stuff flows out of that.
And then the FCC
But that's
should
why
cut
women
you.
get a tough time. I'm not saying all of them, but that's why it's a I didn't like that type of humor, and it's just like, shut your face. That's
Yeah, but
why
there
no
are
one's
men,
laughing
but
at what you're
that's
saying.
fine, and there are a lot of women like that, but there are also men like that.
I've
And
never
I
met
said
him.
they were gay or
Your
Canadian.
president
I've already.
is like
No, no,
that.
I'm talking about comedy.
Colin
In
Powell,
comedy.
Colin Powell's son is
We're
like
doing
that.
comedy.
He stinks. I'm talking about
But
in
they're not
comedy, not guys that are
suing people.
conservative.
They're not
She's not
suing.
in comedy. She's a writer's assistant.
She shouldn't even be that. She should be going, blah, 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 blah. That's what she should be doing. She stinks.
we'll be right back.
Long set.